what would you
Don't look at me. I just answered. Go for it.
Steps that family members can take in case one of their loved ones is actively using or drinking or has a major problem. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Well, like I said, I'm an interventionist, and being Persian, I have a lot of Persian families always calling me. I mean, addiction runs rampant in our community, but also just in general, when it's out of family members' hands and they don't know how to handle it, there are professionals that are available that can step in and put together an intervention. I'm sure you've seen the show. There's steps that have to be taken, but it depends on where the person's living. If the person's living at home with their family and they might be shacked up in the room, doing things. Some people go homeless, and I've done a lot of interventions where people are living in their homes a lot, and their parents are enabling them. And the goal is to get the family together and see how it's affecting the family and how what can be done. And if it's out of their hands, then we sit down, write letters, do all that we have to do, and then do an actual intervention. That's one of the steps. Also, I think a lot of families need to get educated on, as she was mentioning, Alanon or Naranon. Naranon's for narcotics, people that use narcotics, and Alanon is mainly for alcoholics, but there's a lot of people who go to Alanon that don't have alcoholic children. But those are programs that are 12-step programs that are designed to help family members or anybody that has a loved one that's suffering with addiction or alcoholism. They go to meetings, they work on themselves, they learn how to detach. There's CoDA, Codependency Anonymous too. A lot of people get addicted to their addict or alcoholic. They don't realize that they're always trying to fix them. As I mentioned, helicopter moms or helicopter dads, they're hovering. They're just constantly trying to fix the issue. They think they actually have the power to fix a person that's addicted to drug issue, and it's just not likely. It doesn't usually happen.
In my first couple meetings of Alanon, I learned I didn't cause it, I can't control it, I can't change it. I also learned do not nag, scold, or argue. So if you Google the do's and don'ts of Alanon, you're going to see do this, do this, do this, don't. That will help your mindset of how you think you could save them, how you think you can make a difference. You can't. The person has to be ready. So when it gets to a point where the whole family is there and they're concerned, there's lots of issues, I feel then that's when we jump in with an intervention. But for the most part, a family's going to keep it hush up and try to control it the best it can. But some people control it for 20 years, but it gets them nowhere. So the person has to be willing to realize, I've lost this, I've lost that. Okay, I'm ready. How can you help me? Then they're open to the intervention, I believe. The way I understand them, I never had one. I've never been on one. I've conducted my own 12-step call with someone. But go to an Alanon meeting, check it out. They have great literature. That's a 12-step recovery program that's for you to take care of, like minding your own business, take care of you, protect you. And it's the only program I know that just reads and reads and reads and reads for an hour and a half. And then there's a couple minutes to share your experience.
Is there anybody in here that doesn't know what Alanon is when we speak of it? I had a feeling. Al-Anon's a 12-step meeting. So when a lot of us that are in recovery, we'll go to Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous or Cocaine Anonymous, whatever is specific to what we were using or drinking. And that's for us to go and get our recovery. A lot of people get their lives back. It was a program that was designed in 1938 or 39 by Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob. And it was two alcoholics that came together. They created this program. Well, in that time, Bill Wilson's wife, Lois Wilson, she didn't know how to, handle her emotions, and she didn't know how to handle her husband sober because he completely transformed. So she took the same principles and the same steps that were in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's 12 steps, and she started Al-Anon, and so that came about, and now it's extremely powerful. I love Al-Anon. It saved my life. If my mom didn't give me that tough love, I wouldn't be sitting here sober. I know I wouldn't.
Do you want to do that something?
I was just going to say from my personal experience, it was kind of talking about kind of what Gary was saying. I remember before I took the steps to recovery, one of the most important things was to recognize that I lost everything, and then kind of at least a lot of my friends kind of really beat me on the head with that. They're like, all right, do you want this relationship to continue? Because you have a relationship with alcohol and drugs, and it's you choose either your friends that you have, which you claim are real, or this fiction that you're living within your drugs and alcohol while you're high and drunk all the time. And it was kind of like here's the reality. You either choose what's real, which is the people that we're surrounded with and the people that we care about, or this fantasy land that at least I would know that I was living in, being drunk and high all the time at work and at school and like living my life and getting kicked out of places. And that was kind of my like awakening, at least.